So, but I did very well in graduate school, and felt very confident about my future in theology, and I left and went to the University of Iowa, that has an outstanding department of religion, and began my PhD studies in historical theology. They would call it history of religious thought, but it was essentially historical theology. And I elected to focus on, once again, the Reformation, and particularly the thought and the writings of John Calvin. I grew up a Presbyterian, and Calvin was our man. And we liked Luther fine, but Calvin was the one who'd really gotten it right, and at least as we saw it. So I thought there's no better preparation for my future career than to immerse myself in the writings of Calvin, and all the while to continue my scripture study. As I have occasion, study the Fathers, particularly Augustine. I need to learn Luther very well, and I think I should probably dip my toe into some medieval Catholic theologians, St. Thomas Aquinas, Duns Scotus, and then some American theologians that were important evangelicals like Jonathan Edwards. So I really wanted to prepare my pedigree to be the perfect Protestant theology professor, learn all these sources of the Protestant faith. And I was rudely awakened during that process. I studied everything that I was supposed to study, and the first hint that something wasn't right was when I really began to dive into Augustine of Hippo. He's a Catholic doctor of the Church, but he is the one church father to whom the Protestants point above all as this is the one guy who believed like we do. And I read thousands and thousands of pages of Augustine, and I took comprehensive exams in Augustine, and I learned Augustine, and I came to the shocking discovery that, lo and behold, Augustine was a Catholic. And when I looked at his views of salvation and justification, they were Catholic. I put them side to side with the Council of Trent. They were Catholic. I put them side to side with the writings of Thomas Aquinas. They were Catholic. And I realized that the unique Protestant accents that Luther put on justification and salvation, particularly faith alone, were utterly absent in the mind of St. Augustine, utterly absent. And in fact, his views were anathematized, rejected by the Reformers, not by name. They didn't reject Augustine, but his views. So this bothered me, and I began to look deeper into, well, if it's not Augustine, maybe there's somebody earlier. Maybe Augustine lost it, but someone else had it correct.
See, I was wondering.